Tonight on Q2, frustrations over the flames.
We are encouraging residents to sign up for it. If they were signed up for Code Red, they are probably transitioned over.
Some Heights residents sound the alarm after not being notified of a fast-moving wildfire. Plus, in the eye of the storm.
Today I lost power at about 9:30 a.m. this morning. Still have cell phone reception, no water. The water was turned off.
A quickly changing and life-threatening hurricane barrels down on Grenada, leaving a Billings woman stuck on the island. And thread by thread.
Back in the days gone by, people sew to save money. Now today, people sew for the hobby.
One Billings business has become a sewing staple for 3 decades. The MTN 530 News starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for starting your week with us. I'm Russ Riesinger. Tense moments for residents in the Billings Heights this weekend as a large wildfire erupted on the new Skyway Drive. These flames burning some 250 acres, sending smoke hovering high above the Magic City skies. The fire putting a scare into many across the area. And tonight, some residents are raising the alarm after they say they weren't even notified. Arlena Howder looks back into the county's new emergency alert system and whether it's working as planned.
This is the Everbridge app, also known as Yellowstone County Informed. It's the county's mass notification system for emergencies like floods or fires. But with only about 10,000 confirmed users, the county hopes more people will sign up.
No matter where you live in Billings, you saw it, a plume of black smoke hovering over the Billings Heights.
I actually didn't know anything about it until we saw the fire ourselves.
Jacob Cervantes was watching more closely than most as the fire grew in size Saturday, wondering if his family should evacuate.
It'd be kind of nice to be given the information in like a push notification or something like that. Especially because I've got kids. I want to keep them safe.
Little did Cervantes realize there's an app for that.
The current mass notification system for Yellowstone County is using the Everbridge platform, but we are calling it Yellowstone County Informed.
Yellowstone County Informed replaced Code Red, the old emergency alert system, a service the county pays about $30,000 a year for to access. The catch? The public has to sign up to get the alerts, a challenge the county also encountered under the old system.
Had that shifted to one of the subdivisions that we were keeping an eye on, then we would have pushed out mass notification through iPause and Everbridge.
Some did receive notifications. Joey Lodine, a Shepherd volunteer firefighter, was alerted to the fire through the I Am Responding app.
I knew that my family was safe because I knew where the fire was at. I knew what was affected by that. If I hadn't have known that, I may have left work and I might have called a ton of people.
But that app is solely for first responders. So far, only 10,000 or so confirmed people have signed up for Everbridge. But the county is hopeful events like this weekend's fire will encourage more people to sign up. A service Cervantes didn't know about until now, but wishes he had.
I know some people in the Heights lost power. I don't think that we did, but somebody loses power and doesn't know why. It'd be a good reason to have the notification.
I think it's super important for especially community to have an idea about what exactly is going on, because otherwise we're kind of left in some form of the dark.
In Billings, Alina Howder, MTN News.
We switched from June to July, but the stormy weather pattern hasn't changed. Here's meteorologist Jason Stiff with a first look at your forecast.
Yeah, more active weather on this first afternoon of July. It's good to have some rain, some thunderstorms. A little bit too much wind, though, in parts of northern Wyoming. Had gusts between 40 and 60 miles an hour earlier in the afternoon from Sheridan all the way to Graybull. It's a little bit quieter right now, but still some showers and thunderstorms lingering. And taking a live look outside at our Stockman Bank camera, you can see that today in Billings, we reached a comfortable 79-degree high after a mild low this morning of 58 degrees. And look at that. This morning, 2 whole hundredths of an inch of rain. It's not a lot, but it's a start. More chances for rain and thunderstorms are coming. Our 7-day forecast coming up.
A Billings woman finds herself stuck on a Caribbean island being hit by a Category 4 hurricane. Hurricane Beryl made landfall on Grenada this morning with 150-mile-per-hour winds and heavy rain pummeling that area. Ava Stanmeyer, who was enjoying an extended vacation on the island when what was a tropical depression took a dangerous turn. She caught up with our Haley Monaco today as she braced for the full brunt of that storm's impact.
I had no idea it was going to develop into anything like this.
Roaring through the Windward Islands. Category 4 Hurricane Beryl is making history as the strongest known hurricane to pass through this region of the Caribbean.
I originally was staying at like a little villa right by the ocean when I came here. I've been here for 2 weeks.
Billings resident Ava Stanmeyer was taking a long vacation, visiting friends who live in Grenada, and first heard about the life-threatening storm late last week.
I believe it was Thursday, and it started off as a tropical storm, and I didn't think anything of it. I'm originally from Florida, so this certainly isn't my first rodeo with hurricanes at all, and I thought nothing of it. I thought it would pass or it would continue to just be a tropical storm.
But it took just 42 hours for the winds to intensify. By Sunday, the storm had strengthened to a Category 3 hurricane, and on Monday morning, it made landfall.
No water. The water was turned off, mandatory last night at 9 o'clock. There was a curfew set in place at 7 p.m. last night. The only people that can drive or really do anything here is just first responders, police and whatnot. They have roads blocked.
Stanmeyer was able to move inland Sunday morning, grabbing water and food on the way for the time being. But the island is small, only 21 miles long and 12 miles wide.
There's just a lot of high wind, a lot of rain. My room is flooded currently. There's probably about 2 inches of water in here,
making it impossible to completely escape the storm's wrath.
So this is what the room looks like. I have the flooding here. Pray for everybody, all the people of Grenada, all the local people, those that aren't local, just everybody, on the islands, all the islands here in the Caribbean that are certainly being affected.
Stanmeyer's flight back here to Montana is scheduled for Wednesday, although she knows getting out of there may be easier said than done. In Billings for MTN News, I'm Haley Monaco.
A weekend trip to Cooney Dam turned into devastation for one Billings family. One man is in a medically induced coma tonight after a serious jet ski accident on the lake. Our Charlie Kleps has more details on that scary collision.
Aside from the wind, Cooney Reservoir is fairly quiet now, but that certainly won't be the case this 4th of July weekend. And after a dangerous incident happened over this past weekend, FWP and others are going to be monitoring the area closely to make sure everyone stays safe. It all happened fast.
I was hoping somebody hadn't lost their life. That's what I was more worried about.
And before anyone knew it, the usually peaceful Cooney Reservoir transformed into a crisis unit.
What we had heard is that somebody had gotten in a bad crash together, and bad enough that they brought in life flight.
That crash involved 2 jet skis, which authorities say came from the same group where one of the jet skis struck the other.
We all watched from here just to, when a helicopter comes in, that's interesting anyway.
For campers on the shore like Tim Pirelli, the influx of emergency response units made him fear the very worst.
All you can do is hope that the guy's okay.
Authorities say the jet ski that was struck carried a 60-year-old man and a 10-year-old girl. The girl suffered minor injuries while the man is in a medically induced coma after being life-flighted from the scene. According to law enforcement, no alcohol was involved and no citations have been issued. But it's a scary reminder of the dangers that can come when out on the water.
Everybody needs to watch out for everybody. Water safety is the most important.
In Carbon County, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
Republican U.S. Senate candidate Tim Shee is stepping down as CEO of the company he founded. Bridger Aerospace releasing the news this morning saying Shee is resigning as CEO and for the board of directors. Bridger is an aerial firefighting company based in Belgrade. It was started by Shee back in 2014. In a reason for resigning, Shee said in a statement that the company needs a fully focused CEO during fire season. Bridger says it has been preparing for his possible departure since he announced his campaign. Sam Davis, the company's chief of staff, will take over as interim CEO. The task force for state property taxes continues its work in Helena, but now Democratic lawmakers have come out with their own ideas for relieving the burden on homeowners. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian has a closer look at what they're proposing.
Legislative Democrats said a tax shift in Montana has put too much pressure on residential property taxes, and they want to introduce a plan to address that.
We think it's important to get a proposal on the table that we know is going to create a fairer tax system and give working Montanans a break.
At a news conference Monday, they announced 3 pieces of legislation they're proposing for the 2025 legislative session. Exempting part of a property's taxable value to lower taxes for residents and small businesses, changing tax rates so they're higher as homes get more expensive, and creating a tax credit that would offset property taxes if they exceed a specific share of the owner's income.
Montanans can't control skyrocketing home values, and as a result, working families and seniors are being priced out of their homes and their communities.
Democrats estimated the total plan would reduce residential taxes by $214 million and small business taxes by another $14 million. They said they would partially make up the difference by reversing what they called giveaways to major corporations, and that the changes shouldn't affect local government revenues. Democrats are the minority in the legislature, and they've put blame on Governor Greg Gianforte and the majority Republicans for not doing more last session to provide long-term property tax relief. Republicans have touted the property tax rebates they approved in 2023, which will be available again this year, and Gianforte said he convened the task force specifically to study longer-term ideas. The Property Tax Task Force is set to deliver their report to Gianforte next month. In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
Still ahead on the MTN 530 News here on Q2, one business celebrating 30 years in Billings. We'll take you inside to get a glimpse of what keeps the community coming back. And later, Cowboy Christmas kicks off in Red Lodge. Scott will get us ready for extreme bull riding coming up in just a bit.